Fantasy Football Podcast. Today is Saturday, October 8th. I'm Nick Testoni, and guess what? I was really hoping that Joe would be here, but he's not. He's on sabbatical today, so I got a special guest in studio today, Tyler Soup Campbell. Second time on the show. He's live here with me. He'll be the first ever guest host. How you doing, Ty?
I'm doing all right. I'm actually Joe Briner today, Nick. So I'm a huge fan of the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson, and Broncos country. Let's ride.
Well, usually I start the show off with, I don't know, some type of rant because my team sucks or someone gets hurt. But today I was really excited to hear Joe. You know, Joe's a big Russell Wilson believer. He stands by him, but I was hoping he'd have the rant today, but I'm going to give it to you because I know you really don't like Russ that much. And for anyone who watched that Thursday Night Football game last night, I mean, they should be giving their money back from Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon Prime is just getting the shaft, to be quite honest with you. I think the deal was like $79 million or something along the lines of that to host these games on their channel. And they put Russell Wilson on there every other week, and I quite honestly I don't understand it.
I think they've had 3 primetime games in the first.
Every primetime game has been garbage. I mean, the highest scoring one we saw was the Chiefs and the Bucks, I think, 2 weeks ago. That was probably the best primetime game we've gotten so far. But, I mean, Jesus Christ, Russell Wilson, a 15 QBR. I mean, my grandmother could trot out there and get a 16 QBR.
Well, it was a bad one. And we'll get to the Thursday Night Football recap. But first, let's get into the news. All right, one player that is on your team out of Miami, Tyreek, quad, Jalen Waddle with the groin. Now, Jalen Waddle's been dealing with the groin. They're both questionable. Tyreek, I believe, just picked up the quad injury today.
No, it's actually earlier in the week I saw that.
Oh, really?
That he wound up with a Q next to his name, which is always nice to see. But he was limited, I believe, today, which is good to see. I'm not quite sure about Waddle. I'm gonna expect that both of them are gonna play. I mean, if both of those Miami receivers don't play, I mean, don't count on playing any Miami wide receiver, running back, quarterback, defender, anything Miami in this upcoming week.
They're already without Tua. We know that. I think Waddle is definitely gonna play unless they change something because I think he's been playing through something the last week or two. But Tyreek, this week at least, on the injury report. Keenan Allen was ruled out with a hamstring, 4th consecutive game. I mean, this guy went out on week 1 after having a good start, and nothing has gotten better. I mean, might be his hamstring might be worse than what they initially got.
I know. I mean, shout out to the Squeegee Boys, our boy Bryce Fobel for drafting Mike Williams. I mean, paying off for you, bud. Paying off big time.
I don't even know if he is though, because I don't know if you've seen it's on and off for him. I think Gerald Everett's been the big. He's taken a lot of those targets because we haven't really seen DeAndre Carter or Josh Palmer really step up.
Yeah, I feel like with Mike Williams, it's always been the boomer bust sort of take with him. I'm glad to see that he's healthy at least because he's also a Chargers receiver that's been injury riddled throughout his career.
He has. Amon-Ra was limited. He was back at practice. Still questionable play this Sunday, but Amon-Ra has returned to practice. Good sign for you and the Soup and Sammys.
That's a great sign. I mean, my wide receivers carry my team. I got Tyreek and Amon-Ra, and seeing them both with a Q next to their name is no fun. Never any fun there.
DeAndre Swift, like we figured out once again, they have now big thing to remember here. Bye week start next week. That's when people really start losing their minds.
Oh shit!
And guess what? The Detroit Lions have a bye week next week.
Oh.
So Amon-Ra is not going to be there. I'm sorry to break it to you, pal.
That's okay. I got Treylon Burks to slide right in that role.
I think he might have got put on the IR, but
I don't think so yet.
He was seen in the walking boot, but yeah.
Just ruled out. Not quite sure other than that. I mean, he like you said, he was seen with a boot, but hopefully it's nothing as serious as the IR.
Alvin Kamara, you see you have down here, Kamara, always questionable. Yep. He is questionable again with the ribs. Remember, he was a surprise inactive in the London game last week. And now I did mention it. Now I traded him. I got out of the Alvin Kamara business because it stinks. It stinky wanted that.
It does. It's hard to get rid of him.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
So you have another league, and I remember you woke up and you said, would you look at that? They're playing in London, and I did not.
I didn't wake up. I woke up a half hour after kickoff, and you know what? It wouldn't have mattered because Mark Ingram gets like 6 points every time Kamara's out. So I actually have a question for you. If Kamara's in, are you playing him? Now that you don't have him.
I think you have to just because of who he is. What the matchup, we'll get to it later, but they will be taking on. They're playing Seattle, and you saw what Rashad Penny did to, Jamal Williams did to there. Seattle does not have a very good defense, so I think you have to. The funny thing, if we circle back, that is Mark Ingram seems to only take points away when Kamara's in. If Kamara's out, no, I don't want to. No thanks.
Yeah, it's
nobody's good for fantasy.
Yeah, I mean every freaking running back stinks in my eyes. So
Ken Walker expected to play, but Rashad Penny, I believe, will still get the main carry in the backfield. And something to bring up with him, I was thinking about shopping Rashad Penny this week after a high week. I don't think he'll ever, people are really going to be sold on him. And honestly, just as a solid, backup running back where I can play in, games where they have a good matchup, I think there's more value in me just holding him.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that you're not going to start him.
Well, he's bad matchup this week.
Yeah, bad matchup, but I mean, it's also hard to sit a guy that's got 150 and 2 touchdowns.
A lot of it came on 2 big, long touchdown runs. So,
but if Ken Walker's in, he's gonna share there. So,
and let me run through 3 guys who are pretty much out. Well, Mac Jones is doubtful. I don't think he's playing. Rashad Bateman out. They announced it early, and Kyle Pitts out. And honestly, probably good. If you start any other tight end, he'd probably give you less heartbreak than Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I actually had Kyle Pitts in the beginning of the year last year, and then I shipped him off, and he started doing well. So it's actually good for my eyes to see that he's stinking it up. Come on, Kyle. Pick it up.
He's been bad. And David Montgomery, ankle. He was inactive last week. Limited Thursday and Friday. I think it's up in the air. If he's active, you play him. If not, obviously don't.
Obviously.
And that was the news and notes. Do you want to get into the Thursday Night Football recap?
Please.
There wasn't. Now, I will say, there's not a lot to recap. That was the worst football game I've seen in a long time. And it just, the incompetence on both sides. Matt Ryan sucks. And you know what's crazy is it gets lost in the shuffle because Russ and the Broncos are such failures. But they're clearly so much more talented than, at least offensively, than Indianapolis, and they couldn't do anything. I mean, good God, it's crazy. I looked at the stats afterwards. I think both guys ended up throwing for over 250 yards.
Yep.
I didn't see those 250 yards.
I didn't mean either.
A combination, no touchdowns in this game, 12-9 Indianapolis wins. This is crazy. Indianapolis is 2-2-1. They don't deserve to have any wins or a tie. They should be 0-5.
Yeah.
But combined, these quarterbacks, QBR for Ryan was 20. Like you said, for Russ, 15. But combined for these quarterbacks, 0 touchdowns, 4 picks.
10 sacks. You know...
The O-lines were not good either.
These 2 quarterbacks they're strong veteran quarterbacks that you want leading your team. But the line's got to block. I don't understand how you can just not block. Just get in front of the guy. You know, who cares if he pushes you back 10 yards? At least get in front of him. You can't just... The Colts offensive line is just non-existent at this point.
Look,
and the same with the Broncos.
Yeah, and there was a lot of injuries to both lines, especially with Indianapolis. But Matt Ryan, I mean... He looks really bad, but here's the thing with Russ. If it's not working, clearly something's not working there. Why don't... I watched Russell Wilson for a decade in Seattle. You know what he's decent at? Running a couple bootlegs.
Yeah.
Why does he continue to do a 3-step drop, 5-step drop...
And only look at one guy.
Looks at Cortland Sutton, looks a hole through Cortland Sutton's chest, and goes, he's not open. What do I do now? Oh, I'll
throw it to him anyway.
I'll either throw it to him anyways, or I'll step up in the pocket and do a sack.
11 targets for Cortland Sutton yesterday.
Jerry Jeudy was robbed of a touchdown yesterday. I started him because I just didn't want to start Deontay. We'll get into that matchup later. But I started him, and honestly, he saved me at the end. 9 points. He's just under 10 points. Won't kill you. But it's crazy. He got robbed of a touchdown. KJ Hamler got robbed of a touchdown at the end if they wanted to win it. But he sits out there, and his eyes. Remember the old Madden game where you can have the light shine, where you can look at each side of the field? It's almost like as soon as the ball gets snapped.
That's like GameCube.
Yeah. That old Madden. It's almost like Russ's field vision, where the rest of the field's dark and that's light. It's just following Jeudy as it goes by. It's unbelievable. And why not move him around in the pocket? Some misdirection. That's where they got their big plays. Maybe even a couple screens. Melvin Gordon, by the way, looked decent. I think he's fine to start.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially with Javonte being out for the rest of the season. I mean, it's clear as day that Melvin Gordon's going to be the guy.
He almost fumbled again.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't believe it. He's lucky that he was down, or he would have gotten cut. How can you fumble 5 times in 5 straight games as a running back that just got paid?
You know what they got to do?
Just got paid.
You remember this old drill? They got to give him the football every day where he's walking to breakfast, lunch, through walkthroughs. He's just holding the football. But he looks fine, 15 for 54, and in the air, 3 for 49. So a solid day for Melvin Gordon. He is going to be... He was already a value when you got him in the draft, but he's going to have good value the rest of the year. Yep. Alec Pierce looked pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
8 for 81.
He made some great catches.
Well,
great
yeah.
catches.
Matt Ryan's hand gets hit on every throw. And even when he does it, his arm, I don't think he ever had the best arm, but my God, he is a water pistol thrown out there.
Oh, I know it. I mean, for the life of me, I can't understand how Denver lost this game. You know, the Colts came into this game with no Jonathan Taylor, right? And then Nyheim Hines hit the gritty after getting hit.
I couldn't believe that. So I was coming back from work and I didn't see that, and like I got a notification because I was listening in the car as I came home, and then I looked it up on YouTube and I went, the NFL, what's going on here? It doesn't even look like that bad of a hit. I mean, he kind of got blown up, but like I don't think it was.
I think it was helmet hit the turf.
Yeah, that's what happened with Tua twice, because Tua really didn't take a direct helmet to helmet hit, but he got up and he looked like a horse that was stumbling.
He looked worse than Tua. I'm surprised they didn't call it a back injury, but I guess this is in Miami.
Dude. So, Philip Lindsay revenge game.
Yeah, good for him.
11 for 40.
I mean, he wouldn't have seen a light of day if Hines hadn't come out of my eyes.
There was no Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was tough to watch. Michael Pittman, I think he deserves so much better.
I mean,
5 for 59. Now, there's a couple balls he dropped.
Yeah.
But I will say, the Denver secondary is good. And to be honest, a lot of times, Matt Ryan, I just feel like he's getting the ball there like a half a second too late.
He's old. Gotta cut him a little break.
Well, look at Joe.
Older.
Joe, they're the same draft class. Joe was zipping it in there. Joe's always had a better arm than him.
I mean, Joe's arm talent is some of the best we've ever seen. To be fair.
The best to ever do it. All right. Anything else from this game you want to look at? I mean, God, besides that,
the kickers.
Yeah, let's take a look at the kickers. By the way, they cut the hot rod earlier this year.
Yeah.
That new guy they got's pretty good.
Yeah, he's good.
You got anything to say on him?
Not particularly.
4 for 4 with a long of 52.
I believe
had every point in the game.
Didn't he come from Cleveland potentially?
Is that what it is?
I think so.
That is who that is. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Colts like his stuff, and you know what? I like his stuff too. 4 for 4. Have a day, kid.
McManus. I had him. He's been my kicker for a while. He got one blocked.
Not his fault. He got shafted at the end too.
Yeah, I know. Well, I texted you.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that real quick. Denver goes for it with like 2.5 minutes left, right within field goal range to tie the game. They go for it, don't get it. KJ Hamler throws his helmet, and they showed Brandon McManus just standing there, and I said, "Look at McManus. He's pissed. He's like, we're gonna lose a game because of this guy."
I mean,
Russ. I never disliked Russ, and then like the more like his personalities come out, the more I really dislike him. And now that he's playing back, there's Denver fans leaving after regulation. And I think I heard it on a podcast earlier today. It's like, it's not like I'm trying to attack his character, but this character that he's playing, I don't even think this is him. This like weird persona he puts on, it's old, especially when you don't do anything well.
Well, when his post-game interview, I didn't even listen to it because I didn't really care for it. But towards the end, he goes, "Broncos country, let's ride."
No, he said it again.
Walking away.
Did he say it again?
As he's walking away, and I'm like, dude, you are literally a clown. Like, what is going on with you? 21 for 39. Come on.
What was it? I mean, we'd have to go into the average depth of target. I mean, there was like one long ball he completed, and 2 guys caught it. Did you see that? And the ref got bumped out.
Because the ref got in the way.
Yeah, but not much more to talk about this game. It was a rough one to watch. Good for this material right here.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm fine with them going for it at the end, just because I wanted that game to end.
Yeah. Well, the real thing is they could have won the game early if they just run it, but Russ has that pick in the end zone. Stephon Gilmore looked like
poor play call.
The defensive player of the year. Looked like he was back, but that was Thursday Night Football. So the Colts are 2-1, and the Broncos are now 2-3. Great stuff. They brought in Russ for all that.
Thank goodness I spent my whole night watching that.
We got a quick trade to recap.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
And as I look at the big board, I realize I didn't put an E in trade, so that says trad.
Quick trad recap.
This is just a small one. Yes, I was involved again. This trade, he offered me it. So remember, I got Burrow.
Yeah.
For Gallup. We'll get into that later because that's it. He's in the lineup.
Thanks, Diego.
But I have no use for Kirk Cousins right now, to be honest. I mean, I don't mind keeping him.
He's gonna be in your ring of honor, and you're just shipping him.
But he's been on my parts of my teams for the last.
Yeah, that's true. You could get him back.
I'm sending him to a winning team.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, I'm 0-4.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good for Kirk.
I'm sending him on a playoff push. Now, I get back Chase Edmonds and Dalton Schultz, who I traded away 2 weeks ago to Joe. So I get my tight end back, who, I cut loose Evan Ingram. I gave him 2 starts, and he fucked me right in the ass. So I got Conklin and Schultz. I can mix and match. And Chase Edmonds, honestly,
Fine.
decent depth piece. So I'd take that for a quarterback I wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
I mean, Burrow at this point is like kind of, I'd say matchup proof. Like I'm starting him against everyone. I especially like his matchup this week, unfortunately for us as Ravens fans. But I really like his matchup. And Kirk, he's just kind of, he's good, but it does sometimes. A tough matchup, Kirk is going to get like 12 points.
I think it's a good trade for both of you. I mean, getting Schultz back and being able to pair him with Conk, getting Chase Edmonds just as kind of a little piece, and Joe getting a 10,000 times better quarterback in the form of Kirk Cousins over Russell Wilson. I'm actually shocked you didn't start him, Joe. I gotta be honest with you. I've heard a lot of talk about Russ and how you don't like him. I get you got the Cortland Sutton pair, but for the love of God, the guy cannot play football right now.
Yeah. So obviously, if anyone's listened recently, Joe's been really down on Russ. He tried last week positive reinforcement. I guess he didn't do it enough this week because he really burned him. I think he's got 9 points, and honestly, he deserves less.
Yeah, he did.
But
I'm surprised he even got 9.
Yeah.
I think it was the 20 rushing yards.
I should have done this trade after the game. I could have held him up for more.
Yeah.
Because he does not want any piece of Russ right now. All right, let's move on to our starts and sits of the week. Do you want to do yours first?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll start us off. So with the news of Rashad Bateman being out, Devin Duvernay is clearly going to be my start of the week. I mean, I think even if Bateman was playing, I think he was going to be limited capacity, and Duvernay gets those deep crossing routes anyway towards the end zone. Duvernay is the only guy that's seeing 5+ targets except for Bateman in games, probably except for Andrews as well, pardon me. But Duvernay, definitely, without a doubt, my start of the week. Number 1 wide receiver in Baltimore against not the best secondary in Cincinnati. I'm not going to rag on him. I don't know what's really going to happen in that game just because you can't predict the Ravens, but I think Duvernay is an absolute lock if you got him.
All right, I'll take Joe's start real quick.
Okay.
I don't have his reasoning here, but Joe, I'll just do both of Joe's real quick, okay? He has 1 start and 1 sit, and you'll understand why I'm doing both right now. His start is Aaron Jones, the Packers. Who the Packers got this week?
Packers-Giants.
The Packers will be playing the Giants in London early,
Yep.
and Joe likes Aaron Jones, who's been running the ball really well, wasn't in the end zone last week, but I believe the Packers, I really don't know why he likes him, to be honest.
I mean,
You gotta like, I guess, kind of the matchup. The Giants play okay defense.
It's definitely a good it's a good matchup, but I mean, you're gonna start him anyway.
Yeah,
You know,
so
like he's the guy in Green Bay.
And his sit of the week is Russell Wilson, and his reasoning is I hate you. So a little late to get that one out there, but that is his sit of the week. Now I'll go to my start. I have 2 starts. I got Chris Olave for the Saints. He's leading the world in air yards, and we should have mentioned at the top, but James Winston is out again, but it was kind of assumed, I feel like. And Andy Dalton was very competent over in London. Not to mention with Michael Thomas out, I believe Jarvis Landry, he's not out yet, but I think he's questionable, probably more like he won't play. Olave's been the next guy there. Even with those guys playing, Olave was doing good stuff. So with Olave as the main target playing for the Saints, I think he's a really good spot right here. Who's Olave got against?
The Saints, they got Seattle this week, correct?
Yeah, so, I mean, you saw what
But
TJ Hawkins, like you can
yeah.
pass the ball on Seattle.
And especially with Thomas and Jarvis being questionable, and even Kamara probably being in limited capacity or stinking if he plays, they're probably going to have to throw the ball. Geno Smith is better than Russell Wilson. So it's looking like the Saints are going to have to pass the ball a lot.
That's the other
and
thing.
I like that a lot.
Seattle will hang with them. That'll make it a game. It won't be like out of control.
Yep.
And my other start is Breece Hall. So Breece Hall, I've been trying to get him hard in a couple of leagues. Last week, I mean, you're seeing it. Last week, Michael Carter got 9 carries. Sorry to tell you. I know you're a Michael Carter owner. Breece Hall, 17.
Well, when you get 9 carries for 15 yards, you probably don't deserve to be playing.
No, but 17 carries. His workload has only gone up. And the Jets have a matchup against Miami this week. And with no Tua, possibly no Tyreek or Waddle, they probably will play. But I think this game can be kept a little closer than what people think. It's only a 3-point spread. And I really think Breece Hall, especially since they shifted, right? Breece Hall was slowly getting mixed in with Flacco. Wilson comes back. Everybody waits to see what happens. He got even more work with Zach Wilson. So I really like Breece Hall this week. I think this is a big bust-out week. He looked great last week. Got in the end zone to win. So Breece Hall is my start. My first sit, Ezekiel Elliott. It's been a rough ride with Zeke. He's been more dependent on touchdowns, getting down inside the end zone. Not a lot of explosive plays anymore for Zeke. And he's got the Rams this week. Tough matchup. They're number 1 against the running back. And then my next sit, any Carolina pass catcher. DJ Moore's been rough. Robbie Anderson had a game. I mean, it's looked bad. Baker's looked bad. And the matchup is not good. The Panthers have the 49ers.
Yeah.
That defense. So,
that's good defense.
Not looking good.
Good defense. I'll go with my sit. You ready for my sit?
Yeah.
Mr. George Skittles Kittle. Jackson, if you're listening, I got 2 tight ends. I got 2 top 10 tight ends. And you know, you got a pile of garbage. The 46th ranked fantasy tight end on ESPN. I get he was hurt for the first 2 weeks, but he's come back. And, I mean, 5 and 4 targets. No more than 30 yards in either game. You just can't trust George Kittle right now. I don't know what it is. The guy's got a world of talent. We know that. But
bad haircut.
Bad haircut.
Maybe that's
Aaron Rodgers-esque.
Oh,
I know you love Aaron Rodgers, but that
I don't like that haircut. I don't like that haircut. I
don't know what that is, but yeah, I mean, Kittle against Carolina. Carolina's not the best, but Kittle has not been playing the best as well. I say you sit him. And don't let Jack said. Like I said, 2 tight ends I could give you.
Oh, a little bit of self-promotion for you there.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back for the Sunday preview. And we're back. Hey, let's get into the Sunday preview. I usually start, because Joe's here, we go Ravens and Commanders.
I know the drill.
But Ravens are playing on Sunday Night Football, so let's wait on that.
Yeah, let's wait.
And
let's start with the Commanders.
Do you give a shit about the Commanders?
No, but let's start with them.
Oh, you want to start with them? I was going to say let's just not even do them at all. All right, the Washington Commanders. They're playing the Tennessee Titans. Washington hosting them. Tennessee is 2-2. Washington 1-3. A lot of the money going on Washington. They are 2-point underdogs, over under of 43. Some injury notes. Jahan Dotson is out. We heard that earlier in the week. So no Jahan Dotson. And then Treylon Burks out. And that's really the main fantasy stuff here. I think you're starting, obviously, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
With Treylon Burks out, you know, he's been decent. Big old Bob Woods. I think you could throw him a flex if you need to.
If you absolutely need to. I mean, the targets kind of, I feel like, go everywhere there. But, I mean, it's clear as day. Robert Woods is the number 1 there. Just based off the name.
Yeah, besides that in Tennessee, not really anything else. Obviously, Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, I think you can go ahead and start them. Yep. We should say that I don't think it's been confirmed yet, but there is a chance Brian Robinson returns to play this game. Yeah. So listen to the bell. Listen to the bell, Antonio Gibson. It tolls for thee. Time is coming up, pal.
Back to kickoff return,
yeah,
bud.
His snap counts, his carries have gone down every week, and with Robinson coming back into the fold, it's only going to get worse. Yeah. So Antonio Gibson, I mean, look to see if Robinson's active, you definitely can't start him.
No.
If he isn't, you can, if you're desperate, go ahead. But this is probably the last week of any chance with
Antonio Gibson.
Yeah. I think Derrick Henry has a nice day.
Yeah, per usual.
You know, the Washington defense isn't great. They've been okay against the run, but that's because you can throw all over them. But this is obviously this team's bread and butter is the play action.
Are you starting Carson Wentz?
I think you can this week. Tennessee's
I think
defense
you
not
can,
that
too.
good.
I mean, he just back-to-back tough matchups, bad weeks. He might bounce back. Remember, he was top 5 fantasy quarterback the first 2 weeks, possibly 3 weeks of the season.
I think Andy's probably starting him. His other options Tua, and that's probably a no-go this week.
I don't think so.
So yeah, I think you can start him. I think Wentz can be a top 15 option this week without it being a total disaster. Who are you on this week? I have the Commanders. I have them winning outright, actually.
Yeah, me as well. I'm also going Commanders money line. It's a home game. I mean, if the Commanders lose, it's looking like another dud of a season. And then Carson Wentz is probably getting shipped out to, I don't know, Cleveland.
It could be worse. He could still be in Indianapolis.
Yep.
Let's go to London, where the Green Bay Packers are losing a home game, huh? Can't believe the NFL would do that to the nice folks in Lambeau. Yep. But the Packers are the home team in London. 9:30. Do you have anyone on those teams? You got to get up, pal.
No. I'll get up, but I don't have anybody.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about setting roster. The Giants, 3-1, visit the Packers, neutral site in London. Oh, the money's all over Green Bay. Injuries. First of all, Kenny Galladay is out, I think. Anyone who's a pass catcher is not playing for the Giants.
Yeah, they actually don't have any wide receivers.
So Kadarius Toney and Wan'Dale Robinson are very interesting guys if you want to try to pick them up early because someone's got to play.
I mean, yeah, but there was a week where Kadarius Toney had 2 catches for like -1 yards.
Well, he's been in the doghouse. Wan'Dale Robinson's the guy they want, but he's been hurt since week 1. So if you want to take a shot so you can beat the waiver claims, maybe try to take one of those guys.
What is it? They're 3-1. Is Saquon just this?
Well, do you know who they've played? They've played Tennessee, the Bears, the Panthers, and the Cowboys. Now they lost to Dallas because Cooper Rush is unbeatable. But the Bears suck. I have a great stat for you later about Justin Fields. And then the Panthers have Baker Mayfield, who does more pump fakes every time he drops back, but never actually throws the ball. So the Giants are 3-1. Unbelievable against 3-1 Green Bay team. I mean, the spread here, Giants +8 and over under a 42. Goodness.
It seems like a lot of points. I
have the Giants +8. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of points.
And it's less about the Giants and more about the Packers. The Packers are not... Take the namesake out of it. Take Aaron Rodgers out of it. I know Joe has Aaron Jones as his start of the week. But, I mean, they were projected to kill the Patriots. And the Patriots had no Mac Jones. They thought they were going to have Brian Hoyer. Didn't have him. And Bailey Zappi's out here. And they made it a game. The Packers' offense is not what you think.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I took Packers -8.
Am I talking out of it?
It's already locked in. Don't worry.
Why?
Packers -8. I mean, it's hard to deny Aaron Rodgers.
I think he wins. I just don't think he covers.
Yeah. I agree with that, but I am gonna stay with my heart and go with Packers -8.
Starting wise here, Barkley obviously. I guess you could throw Bellinger, the tight end, because tight end's such a waste field.
Yeah.
Richie James, if all those guys are inactive, Richie James, the only wide receiver, you could throw him a flex start if you need to. The only Packers wide receiver I'd start is Romeo Doubs. Everyone else.
Lazard?
Yeah, okay, I guess
if you're in a hole.
Yeah.
He had a nice week last week.
He did. Not getting like a ton of volume, but he's caught the touchdown passes. Besides that, Aaron Jones obviously playing. And then... Yeah, A.J. Dillon if you got to. I mean, he's kind of like that flex range.
That's also a desperation. I mean, he's still getting as many carries as Aaron Jones.
Yeah, just not going to have the upside explosiveness. Yep. All right, let's go to the best line I've seen in a long time. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 1-3, going to the 3-1 Buffalo Bills. Have you seen this line?
Oh,
have you seen this? Have you heard about this? The Steelers are +14. That's right. The Bills at home in Orchard Park are laying 14. The money line, -900. 45.5. This will be gonna be a tough day. Isaiah McKenzie was in concussion protocol. He did get some limited work in today, I believe, but you got to look game time decision. He's gonna play. I believe.
You're not starting him anyway. I don't think.
Yeah, probably not.
If he's playing, and if McKenzie's on the injury report, I'm not going Isaiah McKenzie.
Probably not. Besides that, we know Kenny Pickett's getting the start.
Oh, yeah, his first career start.
I I would be, except for maybe Pat Freiermuth, I'm fading every Steeler. That's why I pulled Deontay out. I just don't think this is going to be a good showing. You got a rookie quarterback who threw 3 picks in
and
one
completion. He completed every pass.
Yeah, he did. He was 10 for 13. But he threw 3 picks. Not all of them were his fault, but 3 picks in the first half he ever played, and now he's going to play Buffalo in Buffalo. Now, Buffalo is missing, I think Poyer's out, Jordan Poyer's out, and Micah Hyde is on IR. I think he's done for the year. But this is still, and Tre'Davious White's still on IR, hasn't come back yet, but this Buffalo team is still good defensively.
Much better than the Patriots.
Yeah, so we'll see. I just don't think it's going to be a good day for the Pittsburgh offense.
Yeah.
Buffalo-wise, obviously, Diggs, Singletary.
Yeah, I would play Singletary.
Gabe Davis.
Dawson Knox is out. I don't know if we mentioned that in the news, but he is out.
Dawson Knox has been a train wreck this year for fantasy, so wouldn't even.
What do you got here?
Oh, I think I have the Steelers plus 14.
I also have the Steelers plus 14.
I know we said all that,
so many points.
But it's a lot of points for the NFL. And
I thought 8 was a lot of points.
Yeah.
14 is 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points.
So, good God.
That
game might be a train wreck to watch. Steelers could go to 1-4. I hope Mike Tomlin doesn't keep that. Mike Tomlin doesn't keep that streak going. You need a losing season. But let's go to Cleveland. The Chargers are at the Browns. Chargers 2-2, coming into the 2-2 Cleveland Browns. Injury report: Keenan Allen, like we said, is out. Dustin Hopkins is questionable. The kicker news: Dustin Hopkins questionable for the Chargers. On Cleveland side, Clowney questionable, and that's pretty much the main thing. What's his name? Myles Garrett will be back.
Oh, really?
After missing last week in that crazy car accident. Cleveland, 2.5-point dogs at home. So 47-point over under, and LA laying 2.5. LA looked good last week. Obviously, you're starting Herbert, Eckler, Williams, Gerald Everett.
Yeah.
No Keenan Allen. And then on the other side, Cooper, Hunt, and Chubb.
Are you starting Hunt? I've heard a lot of buzz about Hunt this week for some reason, and I'm just kind of like, where's the buzz coming from? What has he been doing that's got all of a sudden Hunt is he's
always
lineups.
He's always good. I think he just the last 2 weeks hasn't found the end zone, but he's still getting the work, and he's a good running back. He's good, and I think they'll be there. This LA defense it was revamped, but they have a lot of injuries. And, I just think it can be a good week for both of them. Amari Cooper, we'll see. He's been on and off, but he's got a massive target share. He is going to be going up against J.C. Jackson this week, but J.C. Jackson
hasn't been.
Do you? I don't put him on a lockdown corner. He's just a ball hawk.
Yeah, I mean,
he does a good job, but he's going to give up his plays.
He's at least top 10.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's not going to there's different guys who will shut you down for a game.
Yeah.
Like a Lattimore.
Like Sauce.
Yeah. Like Sauce. But Jackson's such a ball hawk that he's going to gamble sometimes and he will give up his plays.
Yeah, he will. What do you want here?
I have the Browns.
Really?
In a straight win for the Chargers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Actually, I don't like that at all. I'm going Chargers minus 2.5. I just think that the Chargers, even without Keenan Allen, are the better team. I know Myles Garrett's coming back. I think Herbert severely outplays Jacoby Brissett. Severely.
Yeah.
It's 3 points.
Well, I traded for Amari Cooper in another league, so I'm hoping he has a nice day.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'd rather have the Chargers win. Let's go to Jacksonville. Down in Jax. Coming off a 4 fumble and 1 pick performance, Trevor Lawrence. It was wet out. It was raining. Cut him some slack. They'll host the Houston Texans with the worst record in the NFL at 0-3-1. Jacksonville 2-2. Current spread, Jacksonville. It's been a long time since we've seen Jacksonville getting favored like this. 7-point favorites. I don't know when the last time that happened was, but they're 7-point favorites at home and 43.5 over under. Going through the injury report, Zay Jones is questionable. Remember last week he was out. The big day by Jamal Agnew.
I'm not starting him anyway.
No, even probably not. Plays. Christian Kirk's still in there. James Robinson, Travis Etienne cannot be started.
No, he cannot. He can barely be rostered. Him and Cam Akers should go to the beach.
If you were someone who, let's say, had... See, it's tough because he played on Thursday, but right now, if Russell Wilson was playing It's tough to phrase this, but like, who would you be higher on for the rest of the year, Russell Wilson or Trevor Lawrence? Because Lawrence had a bad game last week in a bad weather game, but he's been pretty good this year, and Jacksonville's been a nice surprise. Jacksonville can win this division.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a terrible division.
Until
they both have upside. I mean, Russell Wilson, for the love of God, the guy's getting paid $100 million a year to look like this. I just don't understand it. I mean, if you have Trevor Lawrence and Russell Wilson, I'm starting Trevor Lawrence in fantasy
going
wise.
Back and forth matchups.
Yeah, but at the same token, no, just because of how bad Russ has been, I would probably just ride Trevor Lawrence. I mean, for the love of God, the Jaguars just kicked the shit out of the Chargers 2 weeks ago by almost 30 points. So, yeah, that's why I am actually on Jaguars -7 here. Like you said, Texans worst record in the league. Not much looking up for them. Davis Mills and Brandon Cooks just don't seem to have it this year for some reason. And that's really the only receiver I can think of besides Nico Collins that's worth anything.
Yeah.
Damian Pierce, I think, has a nice day.
Yeah,
Still.
I do too.
I think he's good.
I'm actually on Texans +7 here. I think they can cover. Maybe a backdoor cover with a late score.
Yeah.
But obviously Damian Pierce, James Robinson, like I said, all the normals you're getting started here. Besides that, not really much else to talk about here. Go on to our next matchup. We have the Chicago Bears, who, by the way, you want to talk about records that are surprising? They're 2-2.
Okay, well, they have like 22 passing yards on the season.
That's what I wanted to get to. So here we go. On the year, Fields has 471 passing yards in 4 games.
He only has 67 passing attempps.
I know.
Khalil Herbert has 52 carries, and he's the backup running back. Just think about that.
I can't wait. So Joe Flacco was over in the hundreds in how many games did he play? 3?
Yeah, 3.
I want to know how long it takes Justin Fields to catch Joe Flacco in pass attempts.
Give him 4 more weeks.
He completed a season high 11 completions last week. Did Herbert?
Get it?
Get out! Like, if you had any hope because Darnell Mooney had a decent week last week, stop. Don't try to talk yourself into that. The Bears pass catchers.
Why can I talk myself into it?
Get out of Chicago. Get out of Chicago. The Cubs are over. There's no reason to be there.
Darnell Mooney in the 4th round, and he's playing like a 44th rounder.
It's not his fault. They don't want to throw the football.
Yeah, because Justin Fields stinks.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Tired of these Ohio State quarterbacks coming here and not understanding how to throw the football as soon as they get to the next level.
They should bring in Cardale Jones. I think he can muster up more than 11 completions. Okay, so let's get back into the game. 7.5-point favorites are the Vikings at home. 44-point over under. Nothing really on Minnesota to talk about injury-wise. Obviously, David Montgomery, questionable. We'll see where that goes. You'll have to be on the lookout day of if he's active. Dalvin Cook, you think he's going to have a big game? It's been a bit of a slow start.
God, I hope so.
Tried to get him from you this week.
Everybody's been trying to get him from me. Well, I saw this. They have those little snippets on ESPN. Why Dalvin Cook's upside is tremendous. My God, the guy hasn't broken 15 points once. One time, Dalvin. You got 1 touchdown on the year. Are you kidding? What? I mean, I get it. He's playing with a dislocated shoulder, but for the love of God,
carry the ball in the other arm.
Please get more than 15 points.
Justin Jefferson, I think, can have a nice day against the Chicago team. It's in Minnesota, so it'll be in a dome. No weather, because, God, every time the game's played in Chicago, something's going wrong.
It's a monsoon. Hurricane Ian's rolling through there.
Hail's coming down. I mean, it's like no fantasy games are good in Chicago. Like I said, stay away. I've been saying this since after week 2. Stay away from Chicago.
David Montgomery.
Well, yeah, I'm saying stay away from Chicago. If you're looking for someone to catch the football, go somewhere else. If you're in Chicago, looking to go watch someone complete a pass, go find what do they call it?
Go find the rec leagues.
Yeah. Go find
down at your local park.
Go there on Saturday and go find a high school game. You'll have a better time watching it.
Yep.
Besides that, not a lot to talk about here. Would you start Adam Thielen this week?
You got to.
Really? You're back on it?
I'm back on.
We'll see if hooked on a Thielen's.
He's
after he was a ghost early on, he has come back a little bit.
Yeah. The guy's 33, but he's still getting the targets. I think he's at least back-to-back weeks of 10-plus points. I'm back on the Adam Thielen train. Jake Wills, if you're listening, I like Adam Thielen this week.
I'm on the Vikings -7.
I'm also on the Vikings -7.
Let's go to
half on ESPN.
Oh, sorry. What we got originally was 7.
Yes.
In New England, the Patriots are 1-3, and they're hosting the 1-3 Detroit Lions. But God, does it feel like two different teams? Detroit's really fun to watch.
Yeah, they are.
And the Patriots
I
are
hope
really
Amon-Ra
not fun to
plays.
watch. It'll be probably no Mac Jones. I don't know what the story is with Brian Hoyer. You'll have to see. But I would mind seeing Bailey Zappi again.
Yeah. I mean, Belichick said, well, Hoyer's a veteran that knows the offense. And that's the only thing I've heard about Brian Hoyer. And then
And he's
the
off
next
the
thing I heard
injury
about
report.
him, he got a concussion.
So it might be Hoyer.
I think it's going to be Zapp after his performance last week. It wasn't tremendous, but I don't think Brian Hoyer was going to do that well.
DJ Chark is out. Like we said earlier, Josh Reynolds and Amon-Ra questionable. Could be another big TJ Hawkinson day if all those options are gone, but I don't think you're going to get 40 points again from him, but he could have a nice day. Patriots are 3-point favorites at home. Now, I took the Lions here. I'll just spoil that
Straight
early.
up.
Yeah, straight up.
Me as well.
45-point over-under. So the Patriots, the key to win this game for them is the Detroit's defense is so bad
It is.
that they're just going to have to run the ball and hold
Offense
it because
is
their offense is pretty good.
Electric.
Even when there's no one
without
out
Swift.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamal Williams, I think you're starting. He's been the number one all year, even when DeAndre Swift was active. So, I mean, like I said, I didn't realize when I was taking a first-round pick in DeAndre Swift. Now, injuries kind of derailed it early because I probably still keep on him. Very talented player. I didn't realize I was drafting a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
But Jamal Williams, I guess he just fires him up
They
with those talks from Hard Knocks.
He's a good player. I mean, you can't... Jamal Williams...
Yeah, he's a good player, but I just fucking hate that he's getting this action.
But DeAndre Swift is better. DeAndre Swift should be the one getting the carries. Too bad he's hurt now. Jamal Williams is the guy. Start him.
You starting any pass catchers in New England?
New England. If you're desperate, I'd start Devontae Parker.
Very desperate, I'd say.
Very. I was actually almost that desperate last week.
Oh, boy.
And you know what? I should have done it because he scored a touchdown.
I think he only had like 2 catches, though.
Yeah, but one of them was a touchdown.
It was. Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson. Oh, man. They're probably flex options.
Yeah, no, I'd start both of them. Not if you have both of them.
Yeah, well,
but
that'd be a tough scene if you did.
Yeah.
Jared Goff?
Oh, yeah. You have to. I mean,
Jared
even
Goff or Aaron
without
Rodgers?
Jared Goff. And I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Just based off pure talent that's around him. I mean, even with Amon-Ra being out last week, I mean, Jared Goff put up, what?
33?
33 fantasy points without their easily best pass catcher besides TJ Hawkinson. And no DeAndre Swift. So if you have Goff, I would start him. I have Jalen Hurts and Goff in this league, so I'm starting Hurts obviously over Goff. But if you have Goff and you say you have Russell Wilson, I would start Jared Goff.
Hey, let's go down to NOLA. There's going to be no party happening, though. They're 1-3, and they're taking on the 2-2 Seahawks. Current spread right now, Saints are 5-point favorites at home, over under 45. Injury reports, Kamara, like we said, questionable. And in Seattle, Kenneth Walker, we said questionable. Marquise Goodwin, not a big player, but he'll take a catch or two. He's a very fast, long ball threat.
Olympian.
He's questionable. He is. Geno Smith, I guess you got to start him.
He's getting the start for me in my big money league this week. Over Carson Wentz.
Oh. I'm in another league. I'm starting Andy Dalton this week.
Are you?
Yeah,
You have Olave?
I do have Olave,
Okay.
so I'm going to stack there.
I mean, yeah, I like that.
This is a league. I won last week in this league, but I started Mariota, who was a dumpster
But
fire.
that stinks because he was doing fine. Like, he was a fine fantasy quarterback for the first 3
I just don't
weeks.
like what's going on in Atlanta right now.
Yeah.
They're throwing the ball
Well,
less
I
and
mean,
less.
It's what we expected from Atlanta.
I think Arthur
to
Smith.
be fair.
I'm going to say it. We're not even there yet. I think Arthur Smith sucks.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, perfect. Well, as we bash Atlanta during the Seattle and Saints mashup, obviously no Winston, but Ingram, Olave, like I said, is my start. You got Lockett and DK. DK had a really nice week last week. Maybe he's coming alive.
Yeah, I think him and Lockett are both really, really solid fantasy starts, with especially the way Geno Smith's been performing.
Where do you stand on big old Will Disley?
Guy scored a touchdown last week.
I think he has
32
two
yards?
touchdowns
32
this
yards
year.
this week?
He's got 2 touchdowns this year, which is
Yeah.
2 more touchdown or 1 more career touchdown than Kyle Stinky Pitts.
And 1 more season touchdown than Dalvin Cook. Okay, on to our picks for this game. I got Seattle +5. The Saints suck. I know you don't like to hear that, starting Dalton and Olave in another league, but
That's fine.
I mean, 1-3, they haven't shown any sort of electricity. Kamara, what the hell? Kamara, Yeah. So that's Seattle +5.
I've seen Kamara on red zone once this year, and he fumbled, and it got returned for a touchdown. That's the only time I saw him.
Lovely.
I am on the Seahawks +5.
Yep.
Like I was gonna say, Rashad Penny, who I had last week and started. That's right, you heard me. I started him. Now I still lost, but I started him. I have him sitting this week just because he's a good runner, but he's gonna be very touchdown dependent, and the Saints are still a good defense as far as
Coverage.
Yeah,
Good coverage.
and they're good up front. They still got good pieces
Scrappy.
up front. So I don't think this is going to be a huge Rashad. He's not going to run loose. But Rashad Penny's going to be a good running back to have matchup-wise for the rest of the year.
If Ken Walker plays, I'm not playing him.
See, I don't think that really matters as much. I don't think Ken Walker is like...
Yeah.
I think he's what... I think they've, with Chris Carson leaving, Penny stepped into that role. And when Penny was active, he didn't really do anything to Carson.
Yeah.
He used to take reps from him.
Travis Homer?
No. Well, yes, he did.
DJ Dallas.
No. What was his name? Carlos Hyde. Oh, dude, there's a great name to throw in there. Carlos Hyde. All right, let's go to... Oh, this is a big one for you. I'm surprised you didn't come in with a hat on. Let's go to the Meadowlands, where the 2-2 New York Jets take on the 3-1 Miami Dolphins. Is this... The Dolphins looking for their 500th win in franchise history?
Yes, they are.
Well, they're not going to get it.
No, they're not.
Where am I actually? I'm going to display... Oh, I actually have the Dolphins -3.
I actually have Jets money line because I love the Jets, and they just beat the shit out of Pittsburgh last week, which was awesome to see.
They beat the shit out and they won on a touchdown.
Yeah.
With seconds left.
Well, nobody thought they were going to win, so...
I guess you're right.
Coming back to New York.
The spread as of right now, the Jets at home +3.5, over under 45.5. Let's take a look. Nobody really Jets-wise you need to look for here. Oh, boy, Salvon Ahmed. There's a name of the past. He's questionable. I'm glad we had you in studio for the Salvon Ahmed drop.
Don't even talk.
The X-Man Xavier Howard is questionable. I think he left that game early last week. If you remember that, against the Bengals, he left early, but he's had a long time to recover. He's a big player in their secondary. And then Hill and Waddle, you have to see. Oh, boy. We know it's going to be Brissett, or not Brissett, excuse me. It's going to be Bridgewater.
He looked fine.
Yeah, I thought he looked fine. I mean,
no,
they have it.
Talk about a guy that's had head injuries. My God, Teddy B's got knocked out probably 6 times in his NFL career.
I will say, I don't think it'll be as big of a drop-off as people think, because Bridgewater, he came in, he did fine, and then they've had, since Thursday Night Football, a game plan around him being the quarterback, not Tua.
Right.
So I think that will help. Breece Hall was my start of the week.
Like it?
I think Tyler Conklin is playable here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Conk. And then wide receiver-wise, I mean, it's Corey Davis has emerged, especially with Zach Wilson coming back.
Yep.
Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore.
There's a lot of pieces there. I'm not really
if
quite
you had
sure.
hopes in Elijah Moore, I think it's getting close to welcome to Dumpsville population.
Right, especially with the rookie Wilson in there. But let me say something.
Go ahead.
About the Salvon Ahmed. Colin.
Okay.
If you think you've had some bad fantasy years, I was forced to start Salvon Ahmed 1 week, and you know what? He played 4 downs, and then got hurt, and didn't play anymore.
I remember it.
Yeah.
Had a carry up the middle. I think something with his leg.
Oh, God, who cares?
All right, let's get to Tampa Bay. Brady, I don't know what's going on, but the internet stuff coming out about him being like, he's like telling Giselle to stick it so he can play till he's 50 has really gotten me. There he is. His face just popped up on our screen. Tampa, by the way, they're 10-point favorites. That has had to jump up from what we originally got it at. We originally got it
at 8.5.
Yeah, it's now at 10. So Tampa is 10-point favorites, over under 46.5. I have Tampa here.
Good Lord.
I mean, they notoriously, especially with Tom Brady, kill the Falcons.
Oh, yeah.
Kill them. And the Falcons, they got the least deserving win I've ever seen how they played last week.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Cordell Patterson, obviously on IR. He's out. Kyle Pitts out. Brashad Perryman's questionable. And Julio Jones questionable. A lot of good names coming up for you now.
For me,
Cameron Brate, tight end, out. Chris Godwin, I think, has a big game. Mike Evans had a great game last week. I think he'll have a good game, but I think Chris Godwin has a great game.
Yeah, starting those two for sure.
Fournette will be good.
Fournette hasn't scored this year. Is that correct?
No. maybe not rushing wise, because he
Receiving-wise.
received a touchdown in
Okay.
garbage time last week and beat me. Thanks for bringing it up.
Sorry. I didn't see it.
Atlanta wise, I really don't want a piece of that backfield, especially against this defense. Whether it's Huntley or Algier, if you're starting them, don't think you're getting like anything close to Cordell Patterson level production.
I mean, I think if you absolutely had to start one, I think it'd be Algier.
Oh, I wouldn't want any part of it. Mariota, oh, no thanks. I tried him last week. Drake London, I think you still got to start him just because he's one of the only guys standing there.
Yeah.
And
He's good.
he's a very talented player.
Yeah.
He just needs to get the ball thrown to him more. I'm on Tampa. What about you?
I also have Tampa. Well, just like you said, we originally had it at 8.5. I like that better than 10. I still am okay with -10. Like you said, Tom Brady kills the Falcons, as we saw in the Super Bowl. Sorry for all those Falcons fans out there. But yeah, Bucks -10. Pretty cut and dry. I mean, the Falcons stink. So
28-3. And by the way,
28-3.
you know who we hate? We hate Arthur Smith.
Yes, we do.
Let's go to Carolina, where I hate another coach who's no way he's keeping his job through the year. The Panthers and Matt Rule at 1-3 host the 2-2 San Francisco 49ers. Oh boy, I think this is going to be a long, long day for Carolina and Baker. 6.5-point favorites on the road are the 49ers. Over under a 39.5. To be a 6.5-point favorite and 39.5, that means the total is around 16. They're projected for the Panthers. I don't even know if they get to that.
I mean, 39.5. That's low, but I mean, I get it. But
It's not like
what
San Fran's scoring out the wazoo,
Yeah.
but I mean, there's no way.
At what point? I get it, Sam Darnold. I love the guy. You know, the Jets drafted him, and he didn't pan out, so they shipped him
was
off.
seeing ghosts at
When
one
are
point.
you putting him in over
Well, he's still
this
hurt.
pile of garbage?
He's still hurt. He doesn't come back.
Who cares? Put him
You
in
throw
over
that
this guy.
Where's PJ Walker? I always liked him.
I like
He was
him
a
too.
stud in the XFL.
Yep.
Injury-wise, Laviska Shenault's out. I know. Everybody's really pissed about it. Now, Frankie Louvu, who I'm almost certain is Andy's defender,
Yes, he
is
is.
questionable. I think he had a pick 6 last week, which is the only reason why Carolina got to 16 points.
Yep.
Like I said, I wouldn't start anyone. Not DJ Moore, not Robbie Anderson, nobody in the passing game. Christian McCaffrey, obviously, they got him more targets last week. On San Fran's side, Jeff Wilson, Debo. I'm not thrilled about Ayuk. Now, he got enough to beat me last week, thank the Lord, but
Debo screwed me. I lost by 5 on Monday Night Football. I needed Debo to not get 25 points. And you know what? He did what always happens to me. He comes out on Monday night and says, "Here's soup, here's one middle finger," before the game. And then he goes, "Here's soup, here's another middle finger for after the game." 30 points. I'm 1-3 now. Thanks, Debo.
could be 0-4. Debo, Wilson, that's pretty much it. On the other side, McCaffrey. Not a huge game here. I'm on, I think I'm on San Fran.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I took the Panthers plus 6.5.
Really?
But I'm changing it.
Oh, okay.
It's locked in there,
Yeah.
but I'm coming on record here. I don't think that. There's no way.
I'm in on -6.5. San Fran.
The
Just win by a
Panthers-
touchdown because Baker Mayfield can't throw touchdowns. So.
He's bad.
And apparently they don't give Christian McCaffrey the ball.
All right, let's go to Arizona. I think this is going to be a good fantasy game.
Yeah, it is.
Philly, they're 4-0, the last unbeaten team, looking to go 5-0. In Arizona, 2-2. I heard a great fact today. Do you know the last time the Arizona Cardinals won a home game? I don't know the exact date, and I can look it up, but it was a year ago. It was in October.
Really?
It was late October last year.
I don't really understand what's going on there. I mean, Hollywood is apparently lighting the world on fire, but as soon as D-Hop comes back, Hollywood is going to be a steaming hot pile of garbage, as he always is. I guess that is the issue right there in Arizona. Not much else to say. I mean, James Conner hasn't been fantastic.
Yeah, I'm starting him. I got to. The Cardinals are 5-point dogs at home. Over under 49. Nice big one. I want a nice game with points here.
Yep.
Rondale Moore questionable. On Philly side, Boston Scott questionable.
Good. Goodbye.
I have not a lot of injury news here. Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, both starts. Miles Sanders, start. James Conner, it's going to be tough, but you're going to start him. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, start.
Yep.
Marquise Brown, start.
Yep.
Zach Ertz, start. Dallas Goedert, start. Show me this game. I want this
Prater,
game.
start.
I want this game. Oh, I'm going to be working. But I want this game on at all times for Red
It could
Zone.
be an absolute stinker. Remember what's been happening to us in the NFL this year.
This isn't a primetime game, though. Let's see
Yeah,
the Eagles
but-
more in primetime and a little less of the, I don't know, the Broncos.
Yep.
The 49ers are not really a great team to watch.
actually
They got
played each
Debo.
other.
Oh, I know. And remember, it was 11-10. I'm on the Eagles here.
Eagles -5. That's probably my lock of the week.
Really?
To be
We'll
honest.
drop that in. Got any board bets you want to drop in while we're going through? Just keep it in. Keep it in. All right, let's go to our next matchup where the Dallas Cowboys are taking on the LA Rams in LA. The Rams are 2-2. The Cowboys are 3-1. Cooper Rush will be the quarterback. Matt Stafford has looked terrible. CD's questionable. Tony Pollard's questionable. CD is definitely going to play, it looks like. There's a lot of optimism there. On the Rams side, nothing of fantasy note. The Rams are 5.5-point favorites. Over under a 42. I have the Cowboys.
Me as well. I got the Cowboys plus. Do you have them straight up or the plus?
I have them plus.
Yeah, I have them plus. I think Cooper Rush has proven that he can win, and I don't think that they're going to get blown out just because he's been good. I mean, the guy has not thrown an interception yet, but Matt Stafford's thrown 6. So Cooper Rush, he's not a fantasy quarterback yet. He's not going to be when that comes back. But I mean, I'm not going to start Cooper Rush.
By the way, jumping back, the last time the Cardinals won a home game, they beat the Texans October 24th, 2021.
Oh.
31-5. Now, how the Texans got 5 points?
That's a year and 3 days ago.
Yep.
Wow.
Nope. It's October 7th, pal.
I thought it was October 4th.
No, October 24th.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry, we'll cut this in
Close.
post.
Okay.
All right. Cooper Rush, I wouldn't really play in this game.
No.
I don't want to play Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
that O-line
you know
stinks.
What? Diego is.
That O-line stinks, and I think the Cowboys are going to come early and often after him.
Yeah.
It'll be a tough day. Cooper Kupp, obviously. Allen Robinson, no. But you think Allen Robinson's getting a little pissed?
I think Allen Robinson's heading for the goddamn waiver wire.
You can play Tyler Higbee, though. He's been a good tight end this year. A lot of targets for Tyler Higbee. And then that will lead us into Sunday Night Football. That's right, where our Baltimore Ravens will be hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are 2-2. The Ravens are 2-2, despite the Ravens only trailing for 14 seconds on the year. They love to blow.
That's a lot of time.
The Ravens are 3.5-point favorites, over under 47.5. We don't even care about Marcus. Well, Marcus Peters is questionable. I think he plays. That's one of their bigger corners in the secondary.
Yeah.
Like we said, no Bateman, no Justice Hill, so it's probably going to be active for Kenyon Drake, but I think Dobbins still sees the main load
What
here.
What happened to Mike Davis?
He's there.
Yeah, but what happened?
He played about 5 snaps last week.
You sign a guy and then he gets like a snap. Was he poor in the preseason? I don't remember him being terrible.
No.
He barely even played in the preseason.
I don't know. Cincinnati, T. Higgins and Hayden Hurst are both questionable. They're both going to play.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, I traded for him, and I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be a really good day for him against the secondary. Both quarterbacks
in
are starting.
In the second half.
Yeah, both quarterbacks you're starting. Joe Mixon, you're starting just because he gets the full workload. Even though he's not the most productive with his opportunities, he still gets a lot of points just because they hand him the rock. Andrews, you're playing.
Dobbins,
I'm playing, yes. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Would you even play
Boyd?
No.
I don't trust Boyd enough.
No Bateman, you're playing Duvernay.
I am absolutely playing Duvernay. I mean, he's the only receiver.
James Prochet might be active.
I can see Demarcus Robinson getting in the end zone, though.
Yes. I don't think you want to chase that, though.
No.
I'm going to be honest with you. I picked the Bengals money line for one reason. Yeah, you know what?
That's a great pick.
For one reason. I want to jinx it because if I'm wrong, the Ravens win, I'm happy. Yeah. But if not, I'm just trying to, hedge it.
Mike McDonald, please, just make an adjustment.
Dial something up, pal.
We literally are up by 20 points at halftime, and we just completely and totally shit ourselves in the middle of the field. Not just the defense. You know what? The offense, too. We can't get a first down in the second half. I don't understand. John Harbaugh's going for it on 4th and 5 when we can tie the game against one of the best teams in the AFC. As a Ravens fan, I'm going to the game, but I don't want to.
I'm going to the game, too, and here's the even worse part. I'm working both pre and post. So I'm going to be there at 3:30 listening.
If we don't fucking win, I'm done.
I'm
going to
be right
solely a Jets fan.
This is my first post game with a night game. Where in regular season, where it's like a 4-hour post game show, it's gonna be a long night. I'm gonna be there till 1:32. If they lose, though, I cannot wait for the calls to come in. We got there's something about Flacco. Bring it back. He wouldn't.
Bring him back.
All right. That was our Sunday preview. We didn't touch Monday Night Football. We'll get to that next episode. Let's get into our fantasy matchups with Lur's picks. I went back and did the record. I have Lur's picks with me. Lur is 9-15 on the year. So go fuck yourself, Lur.
It just seems like he's picking Derek a lot.
He's picked Derek every single week, and with Derek being 1-3,
that certainly hurts. He's 2 and Derek's 2-2.
Oh, is he?
Yes, 2-2.
Oh, well, he beat me. First up, I'll take my matchup. My team, La Familia Testoni. We play Hot Bush, Will Spano. Hey, I got 19.3 points. I got 9.3 from Jerry Jeudy and 10 from McManus. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a good day from T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, J.K. Dobbins in that matchup, and A.J. Brown. I gave Deontay Johnson the bench. So that's kind of what I'm going for here. On Spano's side,
that's a good choice.
He gave Najee the bench, which is a good call against Buffalo. So he'll be running Josh Allen, Dameon Pierce, Jamal Williams as his 2 running backs. Also has James Robinson out there. McLaurin and Drake London. Lur's pick, I believe he picked not me, which is a good thing to do because
he picked Spano.
I've been terrible. He picked Spano for his reasoning. He just said, sorry, Brody. So there was no real reasoning besides he was sorry to me. Next matchup, we have Bryce, who is... Oh, I should have mentioned, I'm 0-4. 0-4 taking on a 2-2 team. Next matchup, Bryce, the Squeegee Boys. 1-3 take on the Barely Legal Teens, Diego, who's 4-0. It could be tough this week. Starting out hot, 13.3 points. I think that's pretty good for what
that's fine
Bryce is expecting.
That's fine for Melvin Gordon. And plus, he almost fumbled.
Yeah.
So.
He's got Mike Williams, Mark Andrews, Mike Evans. Wow. Mike, and Mark.
Boy, he's got a lot of Chiefs in that lineup.
He
does.
Like
the Chiefs, Bryce? You like them?
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Patty, and this is a great lineup. And this team's 4-0. The lineup being thrown out there by Diego. If he wins this week, this would be insane.
Well, I mean, for the love of God, the guy hasn't had an injury. He's 1 injury away from losing every game, every matchup the rest of the season. I mean...
He's got no bench, but this is the lineup he puts out here. He's going to go Stafford, because he traded Burrow to me. Stafford against the Bengals, or the Cowboys. Not looking good. Travis Etienne and A.J. Dillon are running backs. Oh, my God.
Awesome.
Cooper Kupp, who's been keeping it alive, and CeeDee Lamb's been good. T.J. Hawkinson. He's starting Michael Gallup. That's right, the second Cowboys wide receiver in his lineup.
Well, who else is he going to start?
Well, who's he got on the bench?
Russell Gage. And he's still rostering 4 defenders. I meant to send a message in our group chat. Diego, for the love of God, you only need 2. You barely even need 1.
He's not even holding that extra roster spot. I told him after week 1.
understand.
Remember he auto-drafted Harold Landry?
Yeah.
A nice edge rusher.
Yeah.
Who tore his ACL. And also was his 5th defender auto-drafted.
I mean,
he would still be rostered in the 5th week of football if I didn't tell him to drop him. And then he dropped him, and he didn't even pick him up anyone to replace him. He's carrying one less guy.
What can we say? He's 4-0.
Also, he could carry 2 extra guys because I traded him Swift. He could throw him on the IR. Rex Burkhead's got a spot in the lineup.
Really?
Unbelievable. His bench
Smith.
His bench includes 3 defenders, Rex Burkhead, a tight end in Irv Smith, and Russell Gage.
And he'll win. And he'll probably win it all.
Lur took Bryce, for God's sakes. Which just guaranteed. Oh, no. He actually took Diego.
No,
he said just because he didn't want to break what's been going on.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Let's go. Our co-host, who's on sabbatical, Joe Briner, 3-1, taking on Milk with Ice. Brian Brooks and Jack Settleman at 3-1. Big matchup here. Joe, he's got 21 points after Thursday night, 12 from Cortland Sutton, 9.16 from Russell Wilson.
Now,
Woo,
I just want to say this, and I'm going to question him. Joe, I know you're going to listen. Are you going to bench Russell Wilson? Are you going to drop Russell Wilson?
No,
Are you going to trade him away?
I did see, did you see, you can go to the league and look at recent activity.
Yeah.
And he recently put out there. Go ahead and read it.
Likely, macoxaflopin 20 milligrams. Likely to trade Russell Wilson, Denver quarterback.
So he put out there he's likely to trade him. Just,
yeah.
It's like dipping the foot in the pool. So you get feel the temperature, see if anyone's biting. The other players on his team, Jeff Wilson, Ramondre Stevenson. He's got Diggs. He's got Devontae Adams, Gerald Everett. So it's not over for him, but tough start. For Jackson, he's got Kyler, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara if he plays, Justin Jefferson, Chris Godwin, Josh Jacobs, and then George Kittle. He's given the bench to DK Metcalf after a good week last week. Let's see. Lur is on Jackson for this matchup, and he said because Russell Wilson's a fraud.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Next matchup. Here we go. The commissioner, Papa Commish, who was our guest last time. He is 2-2, and he's playing my guest right here, Tyler Soup Campbell and Sam James. Soup and Sammy's. How active has Sam James been on the team?
You know what? I try to keep him as active as possible. He apparently got logged out of GroupMe, so he can't communicate through the group chat.
He sent a message today.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
That's
He's
good.
back.
Good to hear you back in there, Sam. But I usually keep him in the loop of the lineup changes. Typically, I just make the changes, and if I forget to text him, I forget to text him. He's usually okay with whatever I do. I mean, we're 1-3.
Could be better.
Could be better.
A good start. You got a nice Zaire Franklin. Got you 11 points out of the linebacker spot in the defense.
Dropped one Colts linebacker for another.
Bobby
and gained 2 points for it. So go me.
All right. Jalen Hurts, Dalvin Cook, Miles Sanders. Heavy on that Philly team. Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Hoping both play. And then Darren Waller in the tight end spot. Duvernay getting the flex this week. On Andy's side, he's got Commander Carson. Kareem Hunt, Aaron Jones in the running back spot as Jonathan Taylor was out. He also has Keenan Allen out. That means big old Bob Woods. Old Bobby Trees is in there. And Jalen Waddle's questionable also playing. So a couple of Miami wide receivers playing each other. Zach Ertz is his tight end. Lur is on you.
Thank goodness.
He's picking you to win.
It's because I have the better Miami receiver. That's got to be his reason, right?
His reasoning was Tyreek is him.
I knew it.
Yeah, that's crazy how you got that.
Thank you, Lair.
All right, last two matchups here. Let's go. Sam Smith, Celiac Attack 1-3, playing hooked on a Thielen, Jake Wills, who's at 2-2. Nobody played in Thursday Night Football, so this is still 0-0 game. Justin Herbert, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, and he's got Taysom Hill in the tight end spot. Sam Smith going with Taysom Hill. Kyle Pitts is out, so he's chasing Taysom.
No, I just can't. I mean,
Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson also in the lineup. 2 Jets. A little risky, but, I like the players, like the talent.
Yeah.
Against hooked on a Thielen. Is Adam Thielen in there? He sure is. After 2-week absence, he's back. Lamar Jackson, Austin Eckler, Leonard Fournette. I remember Javante's gone, but he's got Gabe Davis in the flex, Pat Freiermuth, Adam Thielen, and Jacoby Myers. Oh, boy, that's a rough wide receiver group. But Jake's 2-2.
Yep.
It's gotten him here so far. He'll try to hold on. I believe he is on. Lur's on Jake. Jake Wills to go improve to 3-2. Last matchup. Derek Tightno, who is 2-2, 34 Dainty Ducks playing. Andrew Atkins 3-1, not second place victory lap. Nobody played on Thursday Night Football. For Derek, he's going with Tom again. Tom, Singletary and Mixon. Tyler Lockett and Marquise Brown with Travis Kelce and Brandon Cooks as the main players, leaving Curtis Samuel on the bench and Geno Smith. Telling Geno to stick it.
Really?
Cordell Patterson just went on his IR. On the other side, Aaron Rodgers, David Montgomery in there right now. Let's see if he plays with Nick Chubb, Jamar Chase, Debo Samuel, Dallas Goedert, and Chris Olave on the bench. No Bateman, but he hadn't been playing him. And not going to chase the points with Damian Harris. And no DJ Moore.
I'm sure Debo will get 5 points this week. That's all I have for this matchup.
Lur is on his brother Derek, as he's been every matchup. And he said, we hot for the reason.
That's a great reason.
So that is the preview. Hey, we got a Twitter.
You have a Twitter.
You wanna say it?
Yes, I would love to. It's on Twitter at EastSideFF. EastSideFF. Capital E, capital S. And capital FF at the end.
That was almost it. Hey, give us a follow on Twitter. Share it. Follow us on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts. Share the podcast with your friends. This was a great episode. I had a great time. Live in studio.
Awesome.
Hey, good luck in week 5. Maybe I'll get a win this week. I don't know. Maybe the Ravens will get a win.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Hey, thanks to Tyler Campbell for coming out. Joe, you were missed.
Missed you, Joe.
For Nick Castoni and Tyler Campbell.
Thanks,
Tyler Soup Campbell. This was Eastside Days Football Podcast. Good luck this week.
Good luck, gentlemen.